three brothers in the service in World War II?
Wow. There is so much. I have been asked by many to write a book. When my father went broke, because they moved the highway to this location in 1933, he went broke. My brother Juan was playing the valve trombone, and Joe was playing the mandolin. Joe was probably 15 or 16, Juan was 18 or 19. Hank Becker had a 5-piece orchestra. He played the drums. His wife played the piano. George Edmonds played the tenor sax. They played for dances. My father could no longer feed all of us. My father and my brother Juan and brother Joe, my dad owned a 1926 Model T Ford. They went and bought a long trailer. They redid the trailer. They redid the Model T Ford incomplete. My brother Joe told me just a little more than a couple of years ago, the house was boarded up. And we were ready to take off to California. Joe says, Hank Becker worked for Santa Fe. He came running across the street. Juan, you don't have to go to California. I've got you a job as a laborer on Santa Fe. Music kept us in Seligman. Okay, Hank Becker was my idol. I wanted to be a drummer like Hank Becker. Little by little, as my brothers grew up, they began to replace musicians on Juan Delgadillo's orchestra. After Hank Becker went by the wayside, Juan started an orchestra with town musicians. So I was the last person to replace the town musician, Jesus Martinez, on the drums. In 1939, at the age of 12, it became the Delgadillo Orchestra. So we began to practice, and we began to play for parties and for free. And then World War started. To make a long story short, Joe got drafted, my next oldest brother. Then Juan, my oldest brother, he gets drafted. Joe played the guitar and the saxophone. Juan played the piano and trombone. He gets drafted. Brother older than me, Augustine, played the tenor sax. I was on the drums. My sister Luz played the piano. Ray Pena, a man from Ashford, he plays the bass fiddle, stand-up bass fiddle. So no one to carry the melody. So I went and got Brother Juan's trombone, tried it. I didn't like it. I picked up Joe's alto sax. I didn't like it either. I picked up my brother Augustine's tenor sax. Gee, this is nice. So I start fooling around with a tenor sax. My brother Tony, as a 10-year-old, sat on the drums. So we kept music going.
I'm a drummer too. I'm a drummer.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So now the war is declared D-Day in Germany. I want to tell you this. The war ends in Germany, and the people of Seligman want to dance. Everyone was so happy. They want to dance. So they hired us. Me on the tenor sax, Luz on the piano, Tony on the drums, Ray Pena on the boom, 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 boom bass fiddle. I guess I must have learned maybe 3 or 4 songs, pretty decent. That's about it. People just danced to our lousy, to our band music. We must have played the songs I knew over and over and over and over. But the people were so happy, they danced and danced and danced. Well, at 1 o'clock, it was time to go home. So we're, good night. No. We'll pass the hat. You keep on playing. We must have played till 3 o'clock in the morning. Same songs over and over and over. Well, my brothers came back from the war. We regrouped. From the drums, Juan says, here's an alto sax. You learn to play the alto sax. Sister Lucille on the piano, Augustine's on tenor sax. Tony's on the drum. Incidentally, he became a very good drummer, Brother Tony. We began to play for dances. Most of them were Seligman, Ashfork, Williams. We played in Kingman. We played a lot of dances in Williams, Ashfork, Flagstaff. We went as far as Winslow. And we played as a family orchestra till 1978. The Beatles came into town and they changed the tempo.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
From 1929 to 1978, I believe, 30-some years, we played under the name Delgadillo Orchestra as a family.
What was it, like jazz type music you played, or what was the...
What type of music?
Jazz? Swing?
Glenn Miller, Tommy Dorsey, the music of then.
The big band era.
The big band era. Okay, now let me explain. My brother Juan, the leader of the band, the man, died 2004. Brother Joe, my second oldest brother, with a few other musicians in town, we kept on playing as a Delgadillo Orchestra until he passed away a year ago, January the 31st. He passed away. He was on the guitar, I'm on the tenor sax, Pat Casals was on the bass guitar, John Michael's on the drums. John Michael was Juan's son. We kept on making music. So as a Delgadillo Orchestra, under the name of Delgadillo, we made music from 1939 till last year. Joe passed away a year ago, right?
Correct.
We made music as a Delgadillo Orchestra from 1939 till 2020. He was going to be 100 years old on February the 20th. He died January the 31st. Then the pandemic, but John Michael and I, my nephew, and a bass player here in Seligman, we want to get together just as soon as this I call it pandemic, not pandemic, pandemic. We want to get together and see if we can cut it. I'm sure we can.
I'm sure you can.
Because the will to want to is the way to get things done. The will to want to. Who can do it? I can do it. Don't tell me I can't. I can do it. The will to want to will do it.
Okay. One last question. Ask him if he knows Louis Prima, because I'm friends with Louis' daughter.
Really?
Yes.
Do you know Louis Prima? He is friends with Louis' daughter.
How's that again?
Do you know Louis Prima?
Louis Prima.
It was Italian band director.
Who's Louis Prima?
He plays music. He's an Italian band director.
He passed away, but he was in that era. He would be.
Oh,
You know Louis Prima.
I heard about Louis Prima. Yes.
I tell him I'm friends with his daughter.
He is friends with his daughter.
Louis Prima, no kidding. Wow.
I have a TV show with his daughter.
Oh, really?
Yes.
He has a TV show with the daughter. Wow. Crazy.
Does he want to say something about Louis? Because we could use it. We might use it in our show.
Can you say something about Louis Prima and they can use it on the show?
You know, the older I get, the more I forget about yesterday. I forget so much. Some things I'll never forget, but the general things, in general, I don't remember.
And he plays, doesn't he have songs too?
Louis got many songs like
Yeah.
Just a Gigolo.
Just a Gigolo. You know the song Just a Gigolo? Okay, yeah, I know. He plays, we have him on, we've listened to Pandora, but I see him on there.
There's a photo of the Delgadillo Orchestra right there.
Okay, I'll take that picture.
This is in the Smithsonian. My dad's family story is in the Smithsonian, in the Museum of American History. It talks about America on the move, and they have that picture there as well.
And the Smithsonian, my story is in the Smithsonian's.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Yes, yes. So, but you play Louis. You know Louis.
Yes.
You know, and Lena and I have a show weekly. We film by Zoom now, and we're going to do a story about me being on Route 66.
Oh, cool.
So you play Louis Prima in the story.
Yes, I think we even had a Louis Prima tape. Actually, back in when we first started, we were listening to tapes, and then we moved to CDs, and now we're on Pandora. Because changing those CDs when you were busy was too much work.
Makes a lot of sense. Yes, and Louis, I think, was born in I think 1910.
Whoa! He says Louis Prima was born in 1910.
Louis Prima, gee God.
Yeah, and then he was at the Sahara. He opened Las Vegas in the 1950s. So that's why I was wondering if because he was so close, Vegas was so close.
If he came through, or
Yeah, or he came through, or I guess he would have because how else would he gotten back and
he
forth
had
to New Orleans?
Yeah, exactly.
No, we were just a big band sound. That's all we went for.
Okay. Well, I'm good.
All right, he says that was good.
Fantastic.
You passed.
I passed